Good evening. Welcome to the last meeting of City Council. We'll be on August break and we'll be back in September. I'd just like to thank all those in attendance and also remind you that please be advised any disruption. City Council meetings is not permitted per Ohio Revised Code 2917-12 and Council Rule 47. Please silence the electronic equipment and rise for the prayer and pledge. Ms. Carter, will you please lead us? Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts for the privilege of serving our community. Grant us wisdom and discernment as we deliberate and make decisions that impact the lives of those we represent. We thank you for the improvements, both great and small, that we've witnessed in our community. Continue to guide our hands and hearts as we build upon this progress, always striving to serve with purpose and care. We ask you to guide our thoughts and our words so they reflect integrity, compassion, and fairness. We ask you to help us to embrace unity in our diversity and to honor every perspective and to always pursue what is just and what is right. Father, we bless this council and our administration as we introduce and consider items for the betterment of our city and all who call it home. And may our efforts this evening contribute to the growth of our community and bring hope, healing, and opportunity to all. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Moon is absent this evening.
Ms. Pringowski?
Yes, motion to excuse the absent member, please.
Ms. Carter?
Support.
Please vote.
Ms. Springowski? Thank you. The motion to excuse the absent member carries unanimously.
Item 3, disposition of minutes.
There are none.
Item 4, correspondence communications from the mayor.
There is none.
Mayor Bradley.
So I know you're all aware of the fact that the Cartplex had a open house on Saturday, and it was really an exciting event. The facility is coming along just fine. I think they've spent their $8 million so far, and now the city is starting to disperse some funding to the Cartplex, up to $4 million. Any money over that they spend, it's going to be their responsibility. We have some good investors into the project. I think they're doing it the right way. And then they announced the restaurant that's coming in there. It's a a brewery from the flats. Really a nice operation. I don't know if anyone's been out there, but it's Collision Bend Brew Company, and they're going to be building a facility there. One of the things that I was excited about is that they're going to be able to hold those larger events. And it always disappoints me when we have events for organizations in the city of Lorain that go outside the city of Lorain. And I think that we want to keep those events in our city. And so I think that's going to be another great addition. So if you get a chance, get out there. The go-karts really go fast. So I'm not getting on one. They're 2 inches off the ground and 95 miles an hour. It's crazy. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is I did receive a federal update from the United States Conference of Mayors, and It says last Monday, the House Appropriations, Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and related agencies subcommittee conducted their markup hearing for the fiscal year 26 budget. The future of community development block grant funding that is so critical to so many communities was in jeopardy under the looming threat of the Trump administration's budget proposals calling for the elimination of the program's funding. As a result of the fierce advocacy of mayors, we are proud to share that the subcommittee maintained CDBG's funding at a $3.3 billion level, and the House Appropriations Committee voted on Thursday to approve the measure. Mayors across the country, both Republican and Democrat from cities large and small, reached out to their members of Congress over the past few weeks and highlighted the values of CDBG. So, that means, $1.2 million for the city of Lorain. I'm sure you read the newspaper about some of the home rehab that's being done in the city of Lorain. The program that puts up to $15,000 in housing. So I think that's very important that this CDBG funding is still going to be coming to our community, and let's hope and pray that that continues. I'm sure some of you have received the announcement. I did receive an email from the governor's office, and it said, I want to make certain you have the press release for the All Ohio Future Fund site announcement for Lorain County. I have sent it to the commissioners, but I want to make sure you have it. Lorain County Board of Commissioners will receive $67,412,580 for infrastructure improvements at the Lorain County mega site. The funding will expand water capacity to deliver up to 10 million gallons per day, improve wastewater service, and support design and engineering for a new wastewater treatment plant. I've already talked to Joe Carbonero from our utilities department. We'll be meeting with the commissioners to talk about this, but I think this is a big shot in the arm for Lorain County, and I think it's going to be a big shot in the arm for the city of Lorain. This morning, the Ohio Mayors Alliance and Co-Ohio had a roundtable discussion regarding housing and economic development in the city of Lorain. We had about 40 community leaders there, and one of the things that we talked about was economic productivity and what building houses does for economic development. And it says here that investing in affordable housing fuels economic growth, job creation, and community development. Building 100 affordable homes generates $11.7 million in local income, 161 local jobs in the first year, and $2.2 million in taxes and other revenues for local governments. So building houses in the city of Lorain is important. And the projection is that in the next 10 years, we're going to need another 10,000 houses in Lorain County. 10,000 houses. So I think having a Habitat come in here, building new houses, improving our housing stock is going to be very, very important to our community, and it's going to help with the jobs that are going to be created, hopefully, at this mega site. So good news for Lorain County and good news for the city of Lorain. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bradley. Pretty good news. Item 5, correspondence from directors, boards, and commissions.
There are none.
Item 6, correspondence from other governmental agencies.
We have the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Buffalo District's Project Condition Soundings 2024 survey for the dredging of the Black River Lorain Harbor.
Any comments, remarks? Ms. Duval.
Yes, I'm wondering, do we have any knowledge that they'll be using our geoplex out there on to recycle this dredging? Are we going to be getting some money from that?
Mayor Bradley?
So not this year, but following year we will be. So not this year. The information I got from our engineering department that the company that will be completing the dredging this year is Riba. They're not out there yet. The company out there now is the Great Lakes Dock. There's an access agreement with them They are stockpiling, sheet piling for a $14 million U.S. Army Corps of Engineering project. That's going to be the break wall that goes to the lighthouse. The project will start in Vermilion and then move to Lorain to complete work on the west break wall near the lighthouse. There's a possibility that either company will temporarily moor a boat against the pellet terminal. So that's the information we have. But I talked to Kay Gordon. She said no dredge material at the facility this year, next year. Am I right, Dale? Okay.
Any other questions from council? Mr. Hall?
Move to receive and file.
I'm sorry?
Move to receive and file.
Thank you. Ms. Pankowski,
Support.
please vote.
The motion to receive and file carries unanimously.
Item 7, correspondence from the general public.
We have email correspondence received from Brandon West with concerns related to the absence of local protections for the LGBTQIA+ community.
Ms. Kempton,
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to have the letter read out today.
Ms. Pankowski,
I would support my colleague on that.
please vote.
The motion to read the letter carries with one dissenting vote. Voting no is Mr. Thornsberry.
Proceed.
To the members of Lorain City Council, as it currently stands in the absence of local protections, it remains entirely legal in the city of Lorain and the state of Ohio to evict someone, deny them housing, refuse employment, or otherwise discriminate against them solely for being LGBTQIA+. While federal protections under Bostock versus Clayton County extended some employment rights, they do not cover housing, public accommodations, healthcare access, or local enforcement. And Ohio remains one of the majority of states where comprehensive statewide protections for LGBTQIA+ individuals do not exist. This means that in Lorain, a city that so many of us call home, basic rights and dignity are still conditional for the LGBTQIA+ people. We are still at risk of losing housing, being denied services, or facing job loss simply because of how we were born or who we love. I have written 2 ordinances, one to enact Part 18, Civil Rights and Human Dignity Code, which would establish the foundation for future non-discrimination ordinances, but begins with protecting the LGBTQIA+ individuals, and one to enact Chapter 1803, Human Rights Commission, which would create a Human Rights Commission with members appointed by the mayor and approved by council to allow the investigation of discrimination complaints and to further the advancement of civil rights and human dignity within the city of Lorain. I respectfully, kindly, and humbly ask that any council member interested in advancing these protections consider reaching out to me directly or meeting with me to discuss these ordinances. I would be incredibly grateful for the opportunity to answer any questions, explain the rationale behind the structure, and collaborate toward a Lorain that protects and values every one of its residents. For your reference, both ordinances, the proposed Part 18 Civil Rights and Human Dignity Code and Chapter 1803 Human Rights Commission are attached to this email correspondence. Thank you all for your hard work in supporting the residents of Lorain, our international city. With gratitude, Brandon West, Lorain resident and advocate.
Thank you. Mr. Hall?
Yes, I am going to encourage Mr. West to contact the, help me, Matt, Fair Housing Program, because Lorain has explicit language that you cannot discriminate against someone in housing because of their sexual preferences. So I think he needs to understand that that has already been done in the city of Lorain by federal law.
Thank you. Mr. Royal?
I'd just like to commend Mr. West on continually being a voice and finding ways to be constructive in our community and finding ways to advocate for people that are sometimes hidden behind their fears, anxieties, and just how they're going to be treated. So thank you for being a voice and continue fighting.
Thank you. Ms. Pinkowski.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was from before for,
Thank you. No other comments? Receive and file, please. Item 8, public comments.
We have 3 members of the public signed up to speak this evening. Our first speaker is Debbie Sis, and the topic is Gary Lumen.
Once again, please state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and stay on topic, please.
Okie dokie. My name is Debbie Sis. I live on South Lakeview Boulevard. I've been a lifelong resident of Lorain. And I just want you to know I try to patronize all the local businesses in Lorain. And that includes Gary's Marathon. And why? Because he pumps my gas. I love it. And he has good conversation and we joke around. And I just love it. I go there all the time. It's the only gas station I go to. And I just want you guys to know that. As I support all the other businesses in Lorain. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Brandon West, and the topic is LGBTQ protections.
Brandon West, 1125 West 17th Street, Lorain, Ohio. I did not know that, Mr. Ball. Thank you for stating that. I'm speaking on behalf of my correspondents. I'm proud to live in this international city. That title means we celebrate our cultural roots: Puerto Rican, Black, Hungarian, Polish, and more. It means our city grew strong because people from all walks of life built it. But being an international city can mean more than just honoring where people come from. It could also reflect how we treat each other today, including LGBTQIA plus people. It is still legal to evict someone, be turned away from a job, or be refused services simply for being LGBTQIA. Nearly 30% of LGBTQ adults in Ohio have faced direct workplace discrimination, and for transgender Ohioans, that figure raises to almost 50%. These aren't just numbers. They're neighbors, friends, and family. One lyric I hold close says, "The truth is, you have to be soft to be strong." That softness that listens and protects is our strength. And that strength is what guided me on my next step in submitting 2 ordinances. One to protect LGBTQIA plus residents from discrimination, which also creates a new part in Lorain's law that lays the groundwork for future protections if needed. And one to establish a Human Rights Commission to help us respond with care and accountability. To be clear, these ordinances do not ban beliefs or police conversation. They don't criminalize someone for expressing their opinion or make jokes illegal. I know council will be in recess, and I don't want to intrude on that, but I am open to moving this forward, meeting with council members and residents to make these ordinances community-driven and built with common sense. Let's make Lorain's international title stand for more. Let it mean that we welcome, protect, and uplift all people, no matter how they are born, who they love, or how they identify. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our final speaker this evening is Jane Morales, and the topic is Lorain.
Hi, Jane Morales. I want to go backwards a little bit, and I know you can't answer any questions here, but if somebody would reach out to me at some point with an answer, I did text just everybody, and I didn't expect any replies. I did get one from Tony and Mary, but if somebody could get back with me with some answers, I would appreciate it. I want to go back to the town hall. I want us to have another one. I don't want that to get forgotten because I thought it was a really big thing. And there were some topics brought up there that haven't been addressed since, and if they have been, we haven't been made aware of it. So there's got to be some kind of a platform to where when you guys update things or you talk about things or you make decisions like that, we know about them because we don't know about things that you guys do. So I suggested maybe they could get all their Facebook pages back up and put answers on there. They don't even have to turn their comments on. Mary does do it. But I'm tired of seeing chickens and fires. I mean, I want real answers like What's happening with Broadway Commons? Are we still going through with that? What's happening with Catholic Charities? Has anything been done there? Things like that. There's a thousand. I could stand here all night and ask questions, but there's a thousand things. There's got to be a way that you guys can correspond with us so that we're not left like, what the hell's happening? We don't really have a newspaper that gives us answers. Our journal's gone. Like, we don't have anything. So if there's a way you could correspond with us, that would be great. And just a thought. I know you're really excited about all the new houses, Mayor, and you're right. It's good, but where are we going to put them? Can't we tear down some of the old ones and build there instead of tearing down all the woods? Like, wouldn't that make a little more sense? Can we do something like that? Can they go into neighborhoods and tear down all the old decrepit buildings or homes and put new ones there? That would be nice if we could do something like that. Sorry, I know my beaver went off. Bye, thank you.
Thank you. Item 9, committee reports.
The Finance Committee met on Monday, July 14th to discuss the updated budget performance report from January 1st through June 30th, 2025. No action was taken as this was for informational purposes only.
Mr. Nutt,
Make a motion to concur with committee report.
Mr. Wall,
Concur.
please vote.
Thank you. The motion to concur carries unanimously.
Item B,
The Streets and Utilities Committee also met on Monday, July 14th to discuss the SWAB biannual report and to hear from the Utilities Director Joe Carbonaro and Stormwater Manager Kate Golden regarding flooding in Lorain, specifically South Lorain. No action was taken as this was also for informational purposes.
Mr. Salisbury,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to concur with the committee report.
Ms. Pinkow, please vote.
The motion carries unanimously.
Item C,
The Building and Lands and all of Council met on Monday, July 14th to discuss a proposed ordinance amending the codified ordinance, Chapter 505, Section 505.18E, and establish Chapter 505.25, Keeping of Chickens. The committee recommended holding the item in committee. The Building and Lands Committee also met this evening to discuss a proposed ordinance amending the Lorain zoning code regarding manufactured homes. The committee recommended sending that matter to council for consideration this evening.
Mr. Nutt,
Thank you, sir. Make a motion to concur with committee report.
Ms. Pinkow,
Support.
please vote.
The motion carries unanimously.
Item 10, legislation, first reading.
Introduced by Mrs. Henley, a resolution recognizing and honoring Gary Lumen on his 20th anniversary for his dedication and community support in the city of Lorain.
Ms. Henley,
I make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Ms. Pinkowski,
Support.
please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion, comments? Ms. Henley,
Make a motion to pass it.
Ms. Pinkowski,
Support.
please vote.
The resolution is passed unanimously.
Ms. Henley,
Mr. Lumen, would you like to step up here, please? And you can bring your family or your friends or your significant other or whoever.
Come on, Gary, don't be shy.
Just you? Okay.
family is welcome to join.
Come on.
That must be your son. He looks just like you. You're like a guess.
Got a couple more, but hold on.
That's going to be your brother. I'm good. I know who this lady is. I've seen pictures.
Turn around so I can get your shirt on the back that says Gary's Marathon.
It's great advertising. Joanne Zelina needs one. Anyway, for many years, I have been getting my gasoline at Gary's Marathon, but there's a lot of elderly people that come from all over Lorain, I think, to get gas, because Gary, I believe, is the only full-service station. Well, he doesn't wash windows, but other than that, he's good. Anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize and honor Gary on his 20th anniversary for his dedication and community support in the city of Lorain. Whereas Gary Lumen, a resident of Lorain, Ohio, opened his service station on August 6, 2005, and is now proudly celebrating 20 years of dedicated service to the community. And whereas Gary Lumen's service station, Gary's Marathon, has become a true staple on Lorain's east side, known not only for its reliability, but for the personal touch, integrity, and care that Gary brings to every customer interaction. And I have more. Whereas Gary operates the only service station in Lorain that still pumps gas for seniors, women, and individuals with disabilities at no extra charge, demonstrating an extraordinary level of kindness, respect, and service that sets him apart. And whereas over the years, Gary has supported numerous charitable causes, including Lorain Youth Baseball, the Fraternal Order of Police, and the Lions Club, plus more, exemplifying a strong commitment to give back to the city he calls home. And whereas during the COVID-19 pandemic, Gary kept his station open and personally pumped gas, providing a critical and comforting safety measure for many of the vulnerable residents at a time of great uncertainty and fear. Whereas Gary's work ethic, generosity, and unwavering community spirit have made a lasting impact on Lorain and serves as a shining example of what it truly means to serve others.
Everybody hear me without the microphone?
Yes.
With that, I'd like to present this to you. And hope to see it at your service station. But he really does, just to add a little bit more. My mother couldn't hear, couldn't do much of anything, but she could drive a 94 tempo. And Gary kept it running. And when she would go up there, she had gas, and we could all, build the tires, did this. But he provided, yes, and he does still provide this for many of the people that are regular customers. And he's appreciated. He's an eye on the neighborhood, and he on the east side appreciated very much. Mrs. Alita goes in there at least once a week and gets her $5 for the Mrs. Sis, happy at drug park student.
Me, I drive all the way from just to go to him.
Item B.
Item B is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance amending Ordinance 176-02 in Chapter 505, Section 505.18, Wild Animals and Farm Animals Prohibited of the Lorain Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I make a motion to suspend the three reading rule.
Ms. Pankowski,
Support.
please vote.
Who will suspend it?
Any discussion? Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, we did have our subcommittee meeting regarding possibly legalizing chickens, and from the response, I believe this is the appropriate path to take. Just for informational purposes, part of this was to also allow for a mechanism for enforcement and or some sort of penalty to where there's actually ramifications to this. I did have a conversation also with our law director earlier because I had some extra verbiage in there because my concern was the burden of the expense being levied at the city's feet, essentially, with a few other excerpts that were removed. And then also, my concern, if you obviously have these animals and how they are humanely removed at what expense, but then there are also, unapproved structures that will remain, and how does that how do we alleviate that issue as well? As I said, I had a conversation with our law director earlier, and I believe he can state that a little more understanding than I can for the legal ease on that, I guess I should say, if the law director would, please, sir.
Mr. Roger?
Thank you through the chair of the council. I did have a conversation with Mr. Nutt after reviewing the proposed legislation that had been drafted by him, I think with the assistance of the clerk of council's office. Assistant Law Director Scott Bowles and I researched the way by which the ordinance had been prepared, and we basically concluded that the items that Councilman Nutt has reviewed and just described, which are how it is that you would relocate animals that have been placed in the city and found in such conditions, and the cages and coops that they were kept in, how you would otherwise deal with those properly in a legal format. It was my opinion, and Mr. Bowles agreed after he did some research, but the way by which you would deal with that properly would be through the judicial arm of government. For example, if someone was found to have kept farm animals illegally in the city of Lorain and done so in a coop or a cage or whatever, the crime itself has now been elevated to an M4. M4 is a jailable offense, $250 fine, 30 days in jail. And the judge, as we did review this matter with him this morning, one of the two judges, would have the discretion then of, for instance, suspending part of a jail sentence or suspending part of a fine on the condition or conditions that those animals be relocated and or those coops and cages destroyed. So, whereas I found it to be improper to dictate to the judge how it is he might deal with these more exotic forms of punishment in a sentence, but explain to Councilman Nutt that certainly the court has discretion to place conditions on the suspension of a fine or sentence, and would be properly done by the court at the request of the prosecutor's office if the court found merit to that. Now, in addition to that, I pledged to Dan, on the condition that this ordinance be passed, that the prosecutor's office would take the position with the court and make a recommendation that in the event these violations were found to have occurred, then we would ask the court to relocate such animals and require that the offender, after having been found guilty, be required to destroy the coops and cages, all at the offender's expense. I have prepared a letter, a policy statement to my prosecutor's office indicating that in the event such a violation were to occur, that we are to make that recommendation to the court, and I'm prepared to issue that as a matter of policy for my office in recommending a sentence on violation of this particular city code to that effect in the event council passes the legislation. So I may not have explained it as clearly as you would like, but if there are questions, I certainly entertain those. But again, rather than dictate to the judge how it is he should formulate a sentence, other than a fine and a incarceration, as a condition of suspending any portion or all of the fine and or incarceration, he could impose conditions to be complied with by the offender. Those conditions could extend to relocating farm animals improperly found in the city and or destroying coops and cages in which they were held. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Mayor Bradley?
So I'm just asking for some clarification. So it defines a farm animal
shall mean any warm-blooded animal normally raised on farms in the United States and used or intended for use as food or fiber. And then it lists the animals, but it lists horses. So if I have a horse and I don't intend it for feed or fiber, and it says I just can't ride it on the beach, because that's what it says in here, that keeping of farm animals is prohibited within the city limits. Horses are prohibited on the beach. So does that mean that I can have a horse as long as I don't put it on my beach? Mayor, I think if you want a horse, you can have a horse. But in all seriousness here, I did not examine the definitions. We were not asked or tasked with that. And now that you brought that to light, I certainly think certainly in my opinion, horses are farm animals. And if the qualification is feed or fiber, we'll have to make that more clear. But I will, with council's approval, to amend the ordinance by motion here tonight, if it wishes to pass the ordinance. Otherwise, to include horses as clearly include horses as farm animals. I think that would be the appropriate next step. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Winkowski?
Yeah, I think that the mayor raises a very good point. And I mean, people can say that they're not intending to have any kind. They may want an emotional support chicken or a fainting goat or what have you. That was mentioned during that committee meeting. So I would like to send this to committee so that we can lock down this language and clearly define what the intent is of this ordinance.
Thank you. Ms. Henley?
I would second that.
Very well. Motion made by Ms. Brinkowski, seconded by Ms. Henley to send this ordinance to committee. Please vote.
The motion to refer the matter to committee carries unanimously.
Thank you. Item C.
Item C is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a settlement agreement with Sandoz, Inc. and directing the city auditor to allocate said funds to the opioid settlement fund and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I make a motion to suspend the three reading rule.
Mr. Gall.
Concur.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion. Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, Chair. I make a motion for passage.
Mr. Gall.
Concur.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item D.
Item D is introduced by Ms. Duval. An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a loan agreement with Neighborhood Alliance for rehabilitation of their non-congregate shelter.
Mr. Gall.
I move to approve the ordinance. She didn't say emergency.
We still have to.
Is it for an emergency?
Still need 3 readings.
Okay, suspend. Well, I wanted to go into discussion. Okay, I move to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Ms. Winkowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Just for clarity, as you read through my understanding, just to confirm that this is essentially a 10-year 0% interest loan that will be repaid back to the city over those 10 years. Is that correct? At 0%?
Mr. Kuznets here.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Through the chair to Councilman Nutt, that is correct. It is formatted as a loan agreement, but the loan is more of it's more of a forgivable loan. It really operates as a grant as long as the recipient of the funds continues to use the facility for its intended use for 10 years. That's correct.
Thank you for the clarity. Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Gall.
Yes. This is coming out of ARPA funds.
Through the chair to Councilwoman Duvall, no, it is not. It is coming out of a grant called Home ARP. Home ARP was the product of the American Rescue Plan Act, but it is not associated with the ARPA funds that we have been distributing over the course of
I'm
many
sorry,
years.
I misspoke. So it's the home ARP.
Correct.
So that means that this is not coming out of the city budget. These are funds you have for this purpose?
Through the chair, that is correct. And these funds
I just think citizens should know that I think the city is doing a great job of bringing in monies and not using money that's generated here. So I want, and thank you. That was my question.
Thank you. Mr. Demakia.
Yeah, through the chair to Mr. Kuznar. Again, I had a question because I had some concerns as well. I certainly support the Haven Center and their mission and what they do over there, and they do great work. However, when you look at this and you look at the scope of what we've already contributed to this project in the past, my concern was that we're putting another $1 million into it, almost just shy of. But I would like you, again, to Ms. Duvall's point, to clarify, because again, I'm in support of this based on a clarification I got from you earlier, because the Home ARP funds are specifically used for this type of need, if you will. And I think that's important because we cannot use those dollars anywhere else but for something of this nature. So if you could clarify that for the public, that'd be great. Thanks.
Absolutely. Through the chair, yes, and thank you for asking that question, because the use of these funds is very, very, very specific. So we included in the whereas clause is a really brief description, but what the city of Lorain is mandated to do as a recipient of these funds is to help homelessness individuals or people experiencing homelessness. That is the main function of these funds. The other part, or the other component, is that we have to assist all 4 qualifying populations as defined by HUD. We've listed those 4 qualifying populations in the ordinance as well. People who are currently experiencing homelessness, it's number 1. Number 2, people about to experience homelessness or at risk of homelessness, it's number 2. Number 3 are people fleeing domestic violence or spousal abuse, any individuals, male or female, qualify under that definition. And number 4 are people who utilize services for homeless individuals. So when collaborating with the COC, the Continuum of Care, as well as other organizations in the city, there's really only one organization that assists all 4 qualifying populations. So in order to move forward with any project, and in order to expend these dollars eligibly, we have to assist all 4 QPs, and the Haven Center does a great job of doing exactly that. So that's why there is such a large sum of money, to your point, going towards this one particular project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Pinkowski?
I'm just to support the motion.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments from Mr. Kuznar? Ms. Duvall?
Yes, I was talking to Mr. Nutt, and he and I were discussing this. Is this to be paid back to the city, or is it a forgivable loan?
Through the chair, it is a completely forgivable loan as long as the use of the building remains the same for at least 10 years. And I should have noted, we also invited Ms. Alicia Foss, who's right behind me, from the Haven Center to answer any questions the council had about the services provided at the facility or what these funds would be used for.
Proceed.
And the city will be involved in inspection of like any kind of building thing that's going on.
Through the chair, that is correct. And the use of these funds will be to convert their existing congregate shelter into a non-congregate shelter. So private bathrooms, alleviating the former issues of, Alicia can explain this a lot better than I can, but eliminating some of those uncomfortable situations. It's already, kind of a tense and sensitive environment. So converting those units from a congregate setting to a non-congregate setting will do a lot for the residents that are housed there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pardon me?
Shall I go ahead now with the motion to pass this?
Ms. Pinkowski?
If Ms. Duvall is making the motion to pass the ordinance, I am supporting it.
That's why I called on you. Thank you. Please vote.
Still need to make a motion. Yeah. I need it on record. I'm so sorry.
Miss Sylvia, would you please use the mic, please? Okay.
You have such a big mouth, I forget sometimes.
It's for the recording, just for FYI, for everybody. Even when we do these presentations, our clerk needs that for recording, so I know people have loud voices like myself, but still, for the record, we have to use the microphone for recording.
I move that we authorize the safety service director to enter into a loan agreement with neighborhood. I'm saying the whole thing.
You don't have to.
I was just letting people know. I move that we pass it.
Let's bring out,
Support.
please vote.
Thank you.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Thank you. And for the record, Mr. Kujar mentioned we have the director, Ms. Alicia Foss, is here, so thank you for all the work you do. Thank you. Item E.
Item E is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Safety Service to advertise for bids for the sale or lease of the building located at 1050 Reed Avenue, Lorain, Ohio, and enter into a lease or purchase agreement and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Through the chair, I make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Ms. Duval,
Concur.
please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion? Excuse me, Ms. Winkowski.
Yes, could we please inform the public what this building is used for?
Mr. Kujar.
Yes, through the chair to Councilwoman Springowski, this building has been used primarily by Lorain County Community Action Agency for their Head Start program. The inception of this building, or the ultimate construction of it, was done in coordination with that agency many years ago. And every so often, as the leases expire, the city has to go back out to, for whatever reason, a public bid, and essentially competitively bid this lease or sale of the building out. Ultimately, we will be coming back to City Council to authorize the lease agreement or the sale of the property through City Council. But before such time, we need to authorize the ability to bid it, to advertise the property for bid or sale. So those are the next steps we're going to follow. And we will come back to council when we have a selected lease or buyer.
Thank you.
Mr. Demacia.
Yes, through the chair to Mr. Kuznar, Safety Service Director, carry on. What is our intent? Is our intent to continue the lease, or is our intent to sell the property? Does that mean, for me, that makes a little bit of a difference? Thank you.
So through the chair, so we wrote the ordinance to provide us some flexibility on what we do. Ultimately the decision will come back to City Council for the sale or lease of the property. My personal opinion is that we sell the property and that we sell it to community, that we sell it to Community Action so they can continue to use so they can continue to utilize the property for their Head Start program. Jeez, man. So that's, personally, that's my goal. But ultimately, we are going to go through the steps and go through the process and come back to City Council.
Yeah, thank you to the chair, to members of council. As Mr. Cruzart mentioned, this project really began in the early 90s through a Section 108 loan that the city provided. This property was not located in an urban renewal district, and that is probably one of the reasons why we have to go through this process of re-advertising after a 10-year period. We certainly want Community Action to remain at that location. They provide an incredible service, and they are a firm key element of that Central Lorain district. They have been there since, I believe, 93 or 94, and there is a structure in place that allows them to pay a rent per month, but also the city has the responsibility in addressing issues with the maintenance of the building per se. So the sooner that we can come to a close on this and provide that property to them, I think it'll benefit both parties, the city and the Community Action Agency, since they have been there for close to over 30 years.
Thank you, Mr. Carrion. Any other comments, questions? If not, Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Through the chair, I move for passage.
Mr. Wall,
Concur.
please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item F.
Item F is introduced by Mr. Thornsberry. An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract for the 2025 sidewalk improvements project in the city of Lorain and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Thornsberry.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Ms. Pinkowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion or comments? Mr. Thornsberry.
Yes, at this time, I move for passage.
Ms. Pinkowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item G.
Item G is introduced by Mr. Thornsberry. An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation on behalf of the City of Lorain for the LOR/VAR Lorain High Visibility Markings and RRFB's Systemic Safety Project.
Mr. Thornsberry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Ms. Pinkowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? Mr. Wall.
Yes, will we, do we already have a plan for where this is going to be done, or is that still in the planning stages of where these markings and these adjustments will be made?
Mr. Vander Simon is coming to the mic. He could address those, Mr. Wall, for you.
Thank you.
Or any other members of council.
Through the chair to Councilman Duval, these have been identified. We worked with the Lorain Police Department. There's approximately 20 intersections that the police department has identified as high danger for pedestrians. So these will be a high visibility paint, which should help safety of pedestrians crossing the street.
Does that include any flashing lights or?
Yes, the RFB, as mentioned, there's two intersections. I believe the one is with the flash and crosswalk signs will be at 31st and Pearl. And then we're going to put one at 33rd and Grove, but the safety committee actually recommended we do a full hawk signal, which is similar to what we have over at Lakeview Park with the almost like a stoplight.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Royal.
I guess, can we get a little clarification? You said 31st and Pearl, not 31st and Palm?
Yeah, I'm going by memory. I have the list. I could definitely get it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
31st and Palm was taken down last time I was on council. We turned in petitions. Elementary school over there. I know there's sometimes accidents at 31st and Pearl, but 31st and Palm is a high crossing area for elementary kids walking home from school.
Yeah, that sounds right then, because I know that was one of the factors was school pedestrian traffic. So I'll verify for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wall.
Yes, we had talked about crossing at 21st Street and Oakdale. Is that going to have lights, flashing lights for the kids that are crossing there?
The flashing lights are only going to be in South Lorain, but we could certainly take a look at that for future safety. I think we're targeting a specific area for this round.
So will all 20 high markings be done in South Lorain?
Generally, it's in that area. This was driven by the pedestrian fatality over at 28th and Broadway. So it's generally in that area, but I'll get the list.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Vander Simon? Once again, we'd love to have it. I'm sure members of council run almost every street corner, but unfortunately we can't. Mr. Thornsberry?
Yes, this time I move for passage.
Ms. Brinkhoff?
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item H.
Item H is introduced by Mr. Thornsberry. An ordinance amending Ordinance 53-25, authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a water pollution control loan fund agreement on behalf of the City of Lorain for the rehabilitation of the Yeager Road Pump Station and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Thornsberry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion or comments? Mr. Thornsberry.
I now move for passage.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item I.
Item I is introduced by Mr. Thornsberry. An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the rehabilitation of the Yeager Road Pump Station.
Mr. Thornsberry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion or comments? Mr. Thornsberry.
I now move for passage.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item J.
Item J is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance assessing the cost of abating nuisance by removing litter and deposit of garbage, rubbish, junk, etc. during the current calendar year and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Mr. Thornsberry. Support. Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? No discussion or comments? Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. I move for passage.
Mr. Thornsberry. Support. Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item K.
Item K is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance assessing the cost of abating nuisance by removing noxious vegetation and trees during the current calendar year and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Ms. Duval. Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? Ms. Springowski.
Yes, it says that they were assessed $3,500. What exactly was removed from this property?
Mr. Carrier.
Yes, thank you for the chair to members of council. It was a large tree that was underneath the electrical lines owned by First Energy.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? If not, Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Make a motion for passage.
Ms. Duval. Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item L.
Item L is introduced by Mr. Nutt. An ordinance appropriating funds for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Lorain, State of Ohio, as passed by Ordinance 35-25, beginning January 1st, 2025, and ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Ms. Springowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Through the chair, just for clarity, I was asked this question earlier, so I just want to kind of get on the record. The $10,000 being moved, is that seed money, or is that, as it is listed, donation money that has come in has already been collected?
Madam Auditor.
Not yet. Through the chair to council, the $10,000 is the legacy program that the parks are instituting, where people can donate money to plant a tree in a loved one's honor. The $10,000, we have collected some monies to date. I'm not sure the amount, but the Parks Department had just put an estimate out there for what they could possibly bring in the year and expend in the year. They're only going to expend it as they bring it in, so it's just a budget estimate only.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nutt. Any other comments, questions? Mr. Wall?
Yes, has this program been rolled out to the public? How are you going to publicize it? Where's the
City Administration, Ms. Mayor Bradley?
The program has been rolled out. As a matter of fact, some people have actually made their purchases of these legacy trees for family members. So that's why this appropriation is being made. So they have a separate fund to deposit those monies that have already been paid, and then they're hoping to collect about $10,000 from citizens who have decided to invest in a tree for a loved one.
And that'll be repaid to the city?
Yes.
Okay. And do the participants have a choice of where this tree is planted or what kind of tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they'll be able to have a little, like a marker to show that this tree was planted in honor of a loved one. Yeah, it's going to be a city park, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. And have we contacted the funeral homes to have them put this on their website, that this is a choice?
I'm not exactly sure how the park department has advertised, but I know they have advertised it and that people have donated.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? If not, Mr. Nutt.
Thank you. Move for passage.
Ms. Minkowski.
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed unanimously.
Item 11, legislation, second reading.
At this time, we will need to entertain a motion to add this item for consideration.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. I make a motion to add the item concerning manufactured homes that we discussed in the Buildings and Land Subcommittee as item 11A.
Mr. Demakia.
Support motion.
Please vote.
The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Introduced by Mr. Nutt, an ordinance amending ordinance 4-21 and section 1123.02, schedule of allowed uses, and table 1123.02, schedule of uses, residential districts, and section 1141.17, manufactured homes or trailers, and section 1141.32, requirements for single-family dwellings outside of a manufactured home community, and section 1191.05, definitions K through N of the Lorain codified ordinances.
Mr. Nutt.
Mr. the Chair, I make a motion to waive the three reading rule.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The rule is suspended.
Any discussion? Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I do make a motion to amend by adding section 4E to read as follows.
Proceed.
Thank you, sir. Permanently sited manufactured homes meeting the standard of section 3781.184C, 1 of the Ohio Revised Code, and the requirements of this zoning code shall be permitted.
Mr. Demakia.
Support as amended.
Any comments, discussion on the amendment? If not, please vote.
The motion to amend carries unanimously.
Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. I make a motion to pass as amended.
Mr. Demakia.
Support.
Please vote.
The ordinance is passed as amended.
Thank you. Item 12, legislation, third reading.
There is none.
Item 13, committee calls.
On October 13th, the Finance Committee will meet for a quarterly budget update.
Mr. Nutt.
Nope, that sounds good. Sorry, I left my light on.
No problem. Ms. Carter.
Yes, I'd like to call a committee meeting for Parks and Recreation on September 22nd to discuss the 2025 summer activities.
Thank you. No other committee calls. We'll go to miscellaneous concerns from council. Once again, this is your last voice till September, since we have no committee meetings and we have no regular meetings in August. Mr. Arroyo.
I just wanted to see if we can get an update on those poles on 28th Street that's been cracked that I've been complaining about for the last few months. Those still haven't been addressed. I know Mr. Soto has reached out, but they're still in the same situation. And I just want to say thank you to the police department this weekend. I know my ward's been kept them on their toes, especially on the night shift, but appreciate them doing what they had to do to get the people that were involved with stealing from the gun store, getting those guns off the street. So we appreciate that. And I also know that I've had a few residents reaching out about noise complaints, so I appreciate them addressing that, and hopefully we can have some more discussions on that in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arroyo. Mr. Nutt.
Thank you, sir. Just as a point of information, we did have that subcommittee, streets and utilities, concerning the flooding in the basement backups, and I had made a statement during that we should do something, get some sort of a project together to help with that. In those concerns, I have been reaching out and discussing with Pat McGannon, and thank you to Dale Vandersom. He had sent over quite a bit of information concerning Project Dry Basement. So I am trying to get that going, but get something put together. I did get the chance to just mention it to Councilman Thornsberry. So hopefully over the break we can get something together and hopefully have it on something on the agenda for a project that would allow for that backup to be stopped, with working with the resident, obviously, to take care of and alleviate as many of those issues as we can. Right now, obviously, the funding is an issue. I did have a conversation with our utilities director about how we could potentially fund some aspect of that. So we're still working on a lot of that, but I just kind of want to put that out there so people have that information. Thank you.
Thank you for that update, Mr. Nutt. Ms. Carter.
Yes, thank you. Just want to first thank Joe Carbonero for the update on Regina Avenue. I suspect we'll see that fence back up before September, before school starts. Thank you so much. The next thing is we had a good conversation today with the Veterans Council regarding the renaming of Veterans Park, and the discussion went really well. However, we're going to put it in abeyance right now until later in September when we're able to meet again. We want to take our time with this, and so you guys will hear more information coming in September. The next thing is Jay Morales, I received your text, and I just converted it today into an email, and I sent it to the administration to review and address as they see fit. I've also asked the council clerk to include it on the September 2nd agenda under correspondence from the general public.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Ms. Carter?
Finished, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kempton?
Yes, thank you, through the chair. I would like to thank Councilwoman Carter and Rick Soto for their help on Tuesday. I had a situation in my ward on a street that was pretty bad, and through their counsel and through their help, it's got alleviated through a crisis line, and I do appreciate that. I want to thank Ray for getting the grass cut by Nativity. I saw it, it looks great. They even trimmed it. I couldn't ask for more. And I want to announce that I will be having a town hall in potentially late September, early October. And I have an announcement of a back-to-school event at 1139 Tower on the 27th of July. It's from 12 to 4. Last year, this group raised $10,000 for the Lorain City Schools Art, and they filled 65 backpacks. So if you get an opportunity, come over, have a really good time. They are expecting a lot of food trucks and a lot of fun, and helping some kids get some school supplies. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pinkowski?
Yes, we're having a problem with people burning trash and other things in the city. I've had it over off of Madison Avenue in the past, and we've been really having a problem on Oberlin Avenue. And the people there can't seem to get it through their head. They've turned the burn barrel onto their side. They leave it there smoldering all day. We've got an elderly couple on one side that they haven't been running their air conditioner during the day because they're trying to save money, and they're trying to run it at night, but the air conditioning, the smoke is getting sucked into their house through the open windows and through the air conditioning. We have somebody else that has called repeatedly and complained, and I have never, ever gone onto the people that are the pyromaniac. I'm going to call them what I think it is. I've never gone onto their property. I've been very careful about that. People are not allowed to burn trash. And especially, do not burn plastic lawn chairs. They emit noxious, toxic smoke. And people seem to think that they can get away with doing stuff like that. He's got a huge pile of wood back there and other debris, and one stray spark is going to set other people's homes on fire. This is not fair to the neighbors that are around them. I've had to go around about this. Then we've got to go and tie up our city resources by calling a fire truck out there. Personally, I think that the people should be cited. If they're going to continue to burn in violation of our ordinances, then they should be cited for the cost of the pumper truck going out there. Because it's just like, it's a waste of the resources. We need to make it clear. You cannot have garbage fires in the city. Bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Auditor, any comments? Okay. Mr. Law Director? Mr. Ball?
Yes, I want to let the council know that on Friday there was a program at LCC talking about extreme weather. The fact that we're changing the people have to understand the climate's changing. And so there was a discussion, it was led by the Ohio State University. Many of the things that we had talked about with Mr. Carbonaro were mentioned there. And I'm just encouraging the administration to start pressuring the state to help us with these sewers that still go into the drain. The things that will help us better serve our people and maybe prevent some of this flooding. So it was a very interesting workshop, and I'm sorry that I didn't have I didn't have the notes to bring with me, but if I get that video, or that slideshow, I will forward it to the administration. The second thing I want to know is, are we done with Sandy Springs? There are some things that we talk about, and I guess maybe I'm obsessive compulsive, but I want to see an end to them. So anyway, that's my question. Are we done with Sandy Springs? Have you finished your agreements, everything signed, and can we move on to the next building development? Next thing, I'd like to encourage the safety people to really consider the intersection at 21st and Levitt. The only reason some children haven't been killed there is because they got good knees and they can run fast. The kids are going back and forth to the little stores. They're going to Burger King, and they're crossing in the middle of the street. And sometimes it's like, you're hoping that nothing bad happens there. But something needs to be pointed out to people about the care of those children there. And then the last thing is, I wanted to make sure that the public knows, we had an ordinance talking about the Jaeger pump. And I want you to know that the city is investing in repairing that, making sure it's serving citizens at the cost of $12 million. So those are the things that we don't see the city doing, that really do impact our citizens' lives. And I'm done.
Thank you. Mayor Bradley?
First on the rain events. So I was reading in Crane's Business this morning, and it said that of the 10 highest rain events since they've been keeping track of weather, 5 of them have happened since 2000. So we can expect that, and I know people don't want to hear about 10-year storms, 50-year storms, 100-year storms, 500-year storms, but since 2000, 5 of those events have occurred. So flooding is definitely an issue. Now, one thing I got to say is our Building, Housing, and Planning Department, for eligible residents, eligible constituents, maybe I should say constituents, because that's how the sheriff said we should refer to people in our community. We just did one where we did a full basement waterproofing. We took out, the drain pipes so that it wasn't draining into the sanitary system, and we put in a sump pump. And so we are trying to do that for people that qualify under federal regulations. So I think that citizens need to know that if they are qualified through the income that they earn, that we can do something for them up to $15,000. Well, in that particular case, that was a $75,000 eligibility, because that was part of the home program. So we have these home funds that we can do that for people that are eligible, and they should apply. Sandy Springs, my understanding is they got about 30 to 40 houses yet to build there. And, but we're going to watch to make sure that they don't just leave the homeowners association in dire straits. So I think that's part of our building department needs to make sure that they live up to their responsibilities, and we don't have situations where the homeowners association is calling us in a few years saying that certain things weren't done that were supposed to be done. So we're going to continue to monitor what's being done. I know there's been some dust and dirt on the streets, and Ray has called over there to them and said, hey, they're supposed to sweep the streets on a daily basis. And so he's making sure that that's being done. But, it's hard when it's dry. We do get dust, but we're trying to monitor the situation there.
Thank you, Mayor, for the update. I'm going to have the final word here. Once again, on August 10th, from 11 to 3, at the Mexican Mutual Society, the Lorain County Police Chiefs Association, the Lorain Sheriff's Office, the Lorain County State Highway Patrol, the City of Lorain Police Department, in conjunction with Lorain City Schools, is holding a back-to-school event. If you subscribe to the journal, or if you see it online, the schools reached out. Mr. Kamaki here could give you more information if you need. The school doesn't have money for these back-to-school events this year, so these organizations have worked together since the beginning of June to bring this together. Donations, Operation Open Heart, individuals. So once again, they're looking to, we already have free haircuts will be given by cosmetology school. There's 15 barbers will be there. I don't know if it's going to be backpacks, but they are going to be the supplies that the school requested that they have for kids, who was in the paper. There'll also be some food there, games for kids. The police are going to ID. Sheriff's Department, I believe, is going to, all the police departments are going to have one of their cars there to get the kids involved, so that when they see a policeman, they're not afraid of him. They know who he is. He's there to help. So that, once again, is Sunday, August 10th, Mexican Mutual, from 11 to 3. Ms. Springard.
Motion to adjourn.
Ms. Henley,
Support.
please vote.
The motion carries with one dissenting vote from Mr. Demakia.
Thank you. Have an enjoyable autumn.